those who are entering this domain,
Yeah.
their question is, where do I start? Because the industry has evolved at a level where, now people are talking generative AI, but I even haven't started with the basics. That is number one question. And number two is, who all can actually successfully therefore build their career in this industry?
It's a very, very pertinent question. Even after 10 years in this industry, I myself get scared all the time. The first thing we have to acknowledge is that the kind of helplessness, if you want to call it, or that level of frustration that you might feel at not being able to grasp everything is not going to go away, unfortunately. So the best thing to do is start making a peace with it. That is one. Because this is a field where you will be constantly learning. You will never end learning. So when people typically say that they want to learn a particular tool or a particular technology, I usually say that that's the wrong way to go about it. I could teach you something today which will become completely obsolete tomorrow in terms of technologies and tools. So tools do not matter, technique does. And technique comes from practice. The fundamental building blocks of data science that we see, of machine learning in general, they are techniques, they are not tools. So this is for learning of the content part. But how to learn is actually the key over here. So, many times people usually say that they forget the command or the syntax for doing something. And I say that, please feel free to forget, because that's not the sort of thing that your brain is meant to remember at all. Eventually, when you practice enough, it will become muscle memory. You shouldn't be focusing too much on learning libraries and technologies specifically anyway. What needs to be learned is how to learn. First, figure out how to use things and then try to understand how they work. So, that way you're not blocked. Sometimes there is an admirable but ultimately misplaced tendency among students to try and understand the whole spectrum before trying to start anything at all, right? That is simply impossible. The moment you have some sort of a basic structure in your mind, the moment you have some modicum of understanding of how certain tools work, put them to use, put them to practice as much as possible. Find problems, find real problems that affect you, try and solve them with data. And when that happens, you will get a lot of practice. You'll solve that problem, or you'll reach some sort of a barrier. You'll have to study more, and then you'll learn more.